สวัสดีค่ะ
Sawadee Cup. Hello, everybody.
เพื่อนๆค่ะวันนี้แอนจะมาชวนเพื่อนๆคุยนะคะจะถามคุณฝรั่งค่ะว่าเขาย้ายมาอยู่เมืองไทยตั้งแต่ปี 2009 เราแต่งงานปี 2008 ค่ะแล้วก็คุณสามีย้ายมาอยู่เมืองไทยกันปี 2009 หลังจากที่ปี 2009 มาใช้ชีวิตเป็นคนไทยจริงๆใช้ชีวิตไทยๆใช้ชีวิตพื้นบ้านกับคนไทยปกติไม่ใช่ช่วงแบบนักท่องเที่ยวหรือฮันนีมูนไทม์มาถามกันค่ะว่า14 ปี 14 year you stay in Thailand what you want to tell people or the foreigner guy he want to move to Thailand what you can tell
Well, I would suggest that when moving to Thailand, pick a location that you think you would enjoy and rent. And rent for 2-3 months. And make sure your location is convenient to your grocery stores, school where you can take language lessons and so forth.
important thing you need to speak Thai
Well, I would say unless your wife is with you 24 hours a day, you should learn Thai. In my case, I never did because I made the mistake of living too far away from the city center and there was no schools anywhere near. And being retired, I didn't want to commute, a couple hours every day to go to language school. Everybody, I lived in Chiang Mai and everybody that could speak Thai, they lived around the city center, which offered many opportunities for language school at a reasonable price. Out where I lived in the outskirts, there was just when I moved in 2009, language schools were just not available. So I got lazy. I depended on my wife, and that was a mistake.
คุณจิโนพูดไทยไม่ได้นะคะเพื่อนๆแอนเสริมนิดนึงแอนสอนกอไก่ถึงฮอลล์ฮูกคุณจิโนเรียนถึงคอร์สละครั้งค่ะแล้วหลังจากนั้นก็ปิดคอร์สค่ะไม่ยอมเรียนต่อเพราะว่าเขาใช้ภรรยา 24 hour with him แอนก็เลยเป็น dictionary หรือเป็นทุกๆอย่างให้คุณสามีค่ะ we everything together because you like together ค่ะ
One of the important decisions you have to make is, do you want to live in the city center or do you want to live in the outskirts? It depends what your lifestyle will be. In the city center is convenient to everything you need. People even can speak English, okay? But if you live in the city center, it's noisy, crowded, you have no land. It's like living downtown anywhere, okay? Now, if you wanted to have some land, grow some vegetables, play with your dogs, have some fruit trees, have a little more solitude and peace and quiet, you live in the suburbs, in the deep suburbs. The only problem with the deep suburbs is families have been living there for centuries and you'll always be an outsider. People be friendly, but believe me, you will never be part of the community, okay? And that includes your wife. If she's not from there, she's also an outsider, okay? As regards to what city you choose, just remember, you traveled 5,000, 6,000 miles from your home, okay? And your wife, she could travel 300, 400 miles from her home. There's no need to buy a home in your wife's village. It's good for you and your wife to start fresh and start anew together, have an adventure. So I would say choose your city wisely, and after you choose your city, and you have to decide if you want to live in a Moban or buy your own land and build your own house. And there's an advantage and disadvantages to either one of those choices. In a Moban, people are 2 meters away from you. You can hear everybody. You can hear people talking. You can hear the TVs. But on the other hand, depending on how much money you want to spend, you could be in a low class, low income Moban, or you could be in a higher income, Moban. So the quality of people you get to choose. In a village, not so easy. But in a village, you could buy 100 rai, you could buy 1 lai, you could buy 100 wa. It's up to you to buy how much land you want to buy, how far away your neighbors will be, and you have land, you can plant, you can play with your dogs, you can have a pond, you can have your own kingdom. So, like I said, there's a disadvantage and there's advantages. The first thing I did moving to Thailand was, believe it or not, I bought a car. I believe a car is essential. You need an automobile. Unless you live like in the city center of Bangkok, it doesn't matter if you live in Bangkok in the outskirts or wherever you live, you just need a car, believe me. Not having a car is just too inconvenient. After a while, you get tired of the minivan, the taxis, and they become expensive also. So buy a car. That's the best advice I could give you.
ค่ะ ก็คืออันดับแรกนะคะเพื่อนๆ ถ้าจะมาที่เมืองไทยให้ซื้อรถก่อนค่ะ อันดับแรกเลยซื้อรถเพื่อที่เพื่อนๆจะรู้ว่าเพื่อนๆจะอยู่ที่ไหน อยู่ที่ภูเก็ต เชียงใหม่ ขอนแก่น หาดใหญ่ หรือหัวหิน เพื่อนๆให้ซื้อรถก่อนนะคะ เริ่มต้นจากการซื้อรถก่อนเพื่อที่ได้เดินทาง ไปดูที่เพื่อนๆอยู่ได้ เลือกเมือง เลือกภูมิประเทศ เลือกที่อยู่ ขอให้เพื่อนๆทุกคนโชคดีค่ะ แล้วก็มีความสุขในการย้ายมาอยู่เมืองไทยนะคะ วันนี้อันกับคุณจิโนขอลาไปก่อนค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะจิโนบ๊ายบายแฟนบ๊ายบายค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ
What do you call this anyway?
ก๋วยเตี๋ยวเรือ
I forget.
ก๋วยเตี๋ยวเรือค่ะ